Gordon from Travelport, one of our old friends. We meet at WTTC on a regular basis, Gordon. It's been a year since we last spoke at WTTC. Lots of things happened for Travelport. Perhaps you can tell me a little bit about some of the technologies that you're working on at the moment. For example, like mobile technology is a big thing, I think, for you.
Yeah, I mean, on the mobile side specifically, we've just put out a load of new applications for our travel agency customers to mobile enable themselves. So now we have the ability for our travel agencies, for example, to have all of the Travelport's capabilities on a tablet. So frankly, now a travel consultant can actually make a house call to a customer, make a booking for them, there and then, work when they're on the road, with everything tablet enabled. We're obviously working as well with providing mobile applications to the end user travel as well, both mobile itineraries, but also the ability on a mobile device to make or request for changes. Outside of mobile, the big technology things we've been working on is re-platforming our entire enterprise to enable us to do much more of ancillary product sales for airlines and broadening significantly our hotel content. So we've used new technology, for example, to move us from about 90,000 hotel properties, which is what we used to have in our GDS, to now 375,000 bookable hotels as a result of using some newer technology to aggregate much more content into our system.
Oh, so from a tablet and a mobile perspective, how have you gone about that process of designing that software and that application? Because obviously most of the major travel countries in the world, they would now have developed home workers, independent travel agents that actually, as you say, doing home visits. Did you consult with anybody? Did you sit down with anybody, or did you come up with these ideas yourself?
Oh no. We sat down. We sat on first of all with our customers and got an idea of how they wanted the devices to operate. But also we worked with a lot of third-party developers because we're not arrogant enough to think that we, Travelport, know how to do everything ourselves. There are a lot of great third-party developers out there who can develop, in some areas faster than we can, using our UAPI, which has been developed specifically for that purpose. So, for example, one of our biggest selling tablet devices was actually developed by a third-party company in Portugal, which we put into the Brazilian market, Portugal, and now we've launched into multiple markets around the world because, frankly, what they've developed was really good, and so we got behind them, and we're now putting that out as a product line for ourselves.
Cool. Now, talking of API, perhaps you can tell me a little bit more about the technologies you're going to announce over the next 24 hours.
Yeah, we're very excited about this because we're just announcing the new Travelport merchandising platform, and it breaks down into three key areas. First of all, what we're calling aggregated shopping. Now, what this means is that any airline, low-cost airline or network airline, whatever you want to call them, who wants to provide their content to us through an API, as opposed to through traditional sources such as OAG and ATPCO, etc., we can take that API content and aggregate it in a shopping format seamlessly to a customer. That is now live, it's up and running, and EasyJet is the first customer to be on that capability. So now EasyJet provides their content to us through a different mechanism, but it's shown and integrated fully in a shopping display in the same way the content that comes from old industry sources is shown. We think this is very significant indeed, and you'll see a lot more airlines coming on board with this very shortly. The second piece is obviously all of our ancillary product capabilities in the merchandising platform. So I think it's well known, we're already doing this with Air Canada, whereby we can do all of their advanced seat assignments, the a la carte services, baggage fees, whatever. We're doing it with British Airways, with Qantas, a number of carriers, KLM, and that platform is now open to a lot of other airlines to now put their content in. And then the third piece, and this third piece will arrive later on this year, is our rich content. So enable us to show much more product information on behalf of the airline, such as what the actual flatbed seat looks like, what the seat pitch is in economy, the fares, families, data, etc. So we're addressing everything that our airline customers said they wanted to do, i.e. can we provide content to you in a different way, can you enable us to sort of show the ancillaries and make the ancillaries bookable, and can you enable us to sort of differentiate our products more by where we've got differentiation, showing that to a customer, we're fulfilling that market demand from the airlines, but putting it in an integrated fashion for our travel agency customers. And we're just literally launching this capability publicly in the last couple of days or so.
Excellent. That presumably will give you lots of competitive advantage. And has that helped you secure with your existing clients, and maybe was that part of the decision for American Airlines to go with you in such a big way?
It's a good question. Absolutely. I think where Travelport is today, I think we are ahead of our competitors in this particular area. And there's no doubt at all. American always said, everything Americans said they wanted to do, they can now do with Travelport. And indeed, I think that did play a factor in us, reconciling our differences and in establishing a new long-term agreement, which will not only secure, the traditional content for our customers going forward, but also will provide them a range of existing American products and American products to come, which can be piped through this new capability onto our travel agency screens and made available for our travel agents to offer to their clients and to book. And so that was absolutely a fundamental part of our agreement with America.
Now, as you go around the world, Travelport obviously a global company, applications and the way people buy travel vary greatly depending on where you are. Some people use cash, some people use credit card and so on. How is your global expansion plans going? And for example, we spoke some time ago about Russia and about the East. We're talking about now emerging countries in South America, China, the traditional ones. How are you going with that?
Well, again, that's a big question, which you have to break down into compartments. So let's deal with Europe first. We're seeing some quite interesting share gains for ourselves in Europe. We're in particular growing very well in Eastern Europe. And Eastern Europe as a market region is growing very fast, particularly in the online world, where Travelport's doing very well. And Russia is a market where we grew by over 50%. Last year, and in fact we're committed to Russia. We've got 2 offices already. We just opened a 3rd office in Vladivostok, so we're already in Moscow, St. Petersburg, and now Vladivostok as well. So it's a big landmass country, as you know, so there's a lot of customers to go at. In Asia, the Asian marketplace, there's been some disruption in the marketplace in India, mainly because of carriers like Kingfisher, going out of business, etc. And some of the low-cost airlines are not fully in GDSs. But again, the new technology we've developed gives me optimism to think we'll get them in. We've got a platform now they can use. So that bodes well for the future. Australasia has been doing very well, but it's hardly really noticed the global recession based on its mining and other industries. And again, we've got some great new product and capability going into Australia in the corporate travel environment in particular. And then in North America, obviously we're growing in Canada because we've got unique product and capability with Air Canada, because again we listened to what they said and invested in technology and capability to fulfill that. So I think around the world, we're seeing some very good growth. Market growth, the macro level, is obviously different around the world. I mean, you've got Western Europe in the doldrums, but in some markets in Western Europe, like UK, we are seeing some green shoots from a travel booking perspective, some green shoots of recovery. It's not quite boom time yet by any stretch of imagination, but we've seen some green shoots. We're obviously a bit concerned about what's going on in places like Portugal with the latest crises there, but the good thing about travel is actually quite a resilient business, and commerce and globalisation of commerce is growing. People need to travel more for that. People see leisure travel as a right, not a kind of an option really, to have. And again, in terms of what we do, aggregating the content, consumer choice is still the most important thing that's out there.
Cool. One final question. One of the big things that faces the UK airline industry is APD and its attack. Travelport are a big company, you play a major part in WTTC. Do you take a stance in terms of APD? Have you made a corporate stance, or have you played more of a passive role and let the actual operators get involved in making a statement about the tax and the adverse effects it has on the industry?
Yeah. And look, as a WTTC member, WTTC has a major strategic platform which is freedom to travel, and taxing travel inhibits the freedom of people to travel, and APD is a pointed factor of that. And also the big thing about the WTTC is we're very interested in making sure that governments understand the economic benefits that travel provide. And there's no doubt in my mind that the APD in the UK is damaging to the UK economy. Here I agree, with Karen McCall and Willie Walsh, and Steve Ridgway when he was in Virgin, that it's a bad thing. So I make my voice heard, but frankly my voice is better in this perspective through the WTTC than individually, because at the end of the day, Travelport is not directly impacted by the APD, apart from to the extent that it stops people making bookings that come through London. But what happens is that bookings instead go through Amsterdam, or go through Paris, or go through Berlin, or whatever other countries, to the expense of the UK. So I'm concerned as a UK citizen who's interested in the UK economy, employs a lot of UK people, that what the government is doing here is actually making short-term gain on taxation on the back of the industry, and actually not seeing the longer-term consequences of the contribution travel and tourism makes to the UK economy. So I'm lobbying, with the politicians that I know, and I'm fully supportive of what Carolyn, William, and others are doing in this.